as lost as can be. You don't know me, so come and see the things I do all day. Sing, laugh, and play, writing my story, finding my way. In my head there's so much to explore, doing things I've never done before. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and hey, if you like me, maybe I'll do more. Hello everyone who watches my show. Today on In My Head, I'm actually going to do, I guess it's a craft considered maybe. We're going to be making a t-shirt. So for Young Women's, I was in charge of putting together ways that we can put a design on a shirt. Instead of, going and making something like this and paying money for it, all the girls just brought whatever gray shirt that they wanted, whether it was v-neck, whether it was crew neck, something that fit them so that they were comfortable with the shirt, that they knew that they were going to get a good shirt. And it's called the freezer paper technique. And this is what the shirt ended up looking like. And I posted this last night, and then I got a lot of people who wanted one. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. Alright, let's get started. So I'm pretty much just going to use the same design that I use because that's just what I have available. The tools that you are going to need: freezer paper. Comes in a box like this. This was the only one that I found at my store, but I'm sure if you went to Walmart or wherever, you can find some that are in smaller sizes. So I have a lot of freezer paper now. That is super important. You're going to need an X-Acto knife or even a box cutter. You'll want cardboard for protection. You'll want a sponge brush. You'll want a design that you want to put on your shirt. You'll want a pencil or a pen, an iron, paper plate to put your paint on, and then you will want fabric paint. I got this on Amazon. It wasn't too expensive because when I went to Walmart, all they had was puffy paint, and you do not want puffy paint. You do not want dimensional paint. You want it to just be a flat fabric paint. Very important. And then whatever kind of shirt you want. I just have another dark gray v-neck shirt that I just so happen to find in my closet. So, perfect. So, I guess we will get started. So what I did is I went on my computer and I figured out what kind of design I wanted to use. So, and we watched a video in the beginnings, and it was called Strive. So this will help us remember. So I did this one at first, and then I was like, oh, but I want the cute arrow, because we have these really cute necklaces that match the arrow. So even though I printed, some of the girls did use the circles, and I printed this on freezer paper. So I had to cut this down, using this as a trace, because if you want a good solid straight line on the bottom, and make sure that the sides fit into your printer. Otherwise you're going to get a paper jam, and that happened to me several times, and I had to print off 25 of these. So very important to have that good edge when you're putting it in the printer. And you want to make sure this is the doll side, the other side is plastic and shiny. You want your drawing or your design to be on this side. It is super important that it's on the doll side. Okay, So this is just regular paper because I wanted to do an arrow. So I'll show you what I did. So since I wanted to use the arrow, I put the freezer paper over the arrow how I wanted it to look on the shirt. And then I just quickly traced it out. It is not required for you to sing Manamana. Okay, but then that is what it looks like when I have the arrow traced on. Just like that. And then this is what you want this cardboard. Kind of plain cardboard. But this is where you take your X-Acto knife or box cutter, and you are going to cut out the black. And you want to make sure that you keep this D in the R, or if you have another, the smaller circle in an O if you're doing an O. And then you just cut those out.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache.
Okay, so this is how it looks cut out. If I wanted to do some of the polka dots, I totally could. And as you can see, it's like not totally perfect, but that's okay because it still looks really good on your shirt. Now this is the part where you heat up your iron. You do not want any water or steam in your iron because you just want the heat from the plate. And you want it up all the way. Heat it up as hot as it will go. Careful with this. So, now that you have your stencil like this, you're going to put the glossy side, the plastic side, on your shirt, wherever you want the design to go. Make sure it's really nice and center. And this is where you would put this on. You just put this on if you want the letters or the arrows. So like the shirt that I showed you, that's how I did that one. But I'm actually going to use, and what you want to do with this is you'll want to put this down first. You'll iron this first, and then you'll take the little D piece that you had in the R, and then you iron that on second. Trust me, it just works better that way. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to use my letters that I had cut out.
Whatever you wish for, you
can. So you want to push straight down.
Faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through.
It's supposed to peel off, so it should.
No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
This is the plastic. not necessarily melting into your clothes, but it's making it stick to your clothes really well. All right, so now that that is on and secure, you're going to take your paint. You can unplug your iron at this point. You will not need it again. So you take your sponge brush and your paint, and I noticed, especially last night when we were doing it, that dabbing it like this is the best way. Because I had some girls that would paint like this, and that made it too gloppy in some areas, that it was hard to get their stencil off without getting paint everywhere and making it not cool. Really important to get around the edges of your letters and whatever else you're stenciling. That way, when you remove it, it really pops out.
A dream is a wish.
You kind of see that right here as it's kind of drying. You'll kind of be able to see the shirt. And I like went over it again, just like with another quick dabbing layer, especially around the letters.
Thinking no one can hear you at all.
Right, and now here is the key thing that is extremely, extremely important. You want to remove your stencil while it's wet. Do not let it dry. And I don't know why, I'm pretty sure if you let it dry while you have the stencil on it, it's going to keep the stencil there. So that's no good. So with this one that I did, you got to be extremely careful. I'm just using my X-Acto knife. Last night we used pencils or pens. You just want to get underneath the stencil somewhere so that you can lift it up.
You wake with the morning sunlight to find fortune that is smiling on you. Don't let your heart be filled with sorrow, for all you know tomorrow.
Alright, so you can see it. Make sure to read the instructions on the back of your paint. Mine says to dry flat for 4 hours. My other shirt, I didn't lay it flat, I just had it on a hanger. And then it says wash inside out after 72 hours or 3 days. So don't wash it for 3 days. I guess that is like super important. So I'll let you see. That's how my shirt came and turned out. And then when I got back, I have a volleyball game tonight. So I used the same stencil to make this 15 on the back. But then on the front, I used the lettering and an extra arrow, and I put this on the front. The same way I did this shirt. So, dun-da-dun, dun-da-dun. See? Super fun, super easy. We did 15. Did we have 10 to 15? I don't remember how many girls we had there last night. But it took like an hour to do most of them. And all the leaders were using the X-Acto knives, and then the girls just said how they want. So that's how you do that. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Inside My Head. I'm not very crafty very often, but I was impressed that even someone as not crafty as I could pull off something as awesome as this. So, I know you can do it too. You guys have a great and awesome day, life, week, month, whatever is happening in your life. I'll see you next time.
Dreams and someday